problems started a long time ago. I was very much in love with Peter when I married him. He's what they call a dedicated doctor. And our life together became almost nothing as the years went by. I was so lonely. You don't know.
Yes, I do. I know what loneliness can make you do.
And then when I started doing things I didn't want to do, it got out of hand. One thing seemed to happen right after another. The divorce, the countersuit. I couldn't get control of myself or my life. If Peter couldn't forgive me before, he'll never forgive me now. And I can't blame him. He was absolutely right about me.
God knows what you've done to yourself.
Peter, I only did that to save our marriage.
Faith! Carol, you have killed it. But that's the least of what you have done. I just wanted you to know that, Carol.
Sometimes?
No. Not like this. Oh, I've been remembering this last year. Meg. I must have been out of my head.
Carol, listen to me. Carol, it's all over now. And I think you understand what's important now and what isn't. And you're not going to make the same mistakes again.
I'll never live them down either.
Oh, yes, you will, Carol. Carol, listen to me. You're still alive, and you have a chance.
I was very lucky, Meg. To have been saved by my own insane behavior. And I think I owe that to you more than anyone else.
No, you don't. It was Peter who rushed over to help you.
Oh, I have so much to make up, especially to Peter. But I know that I've ruined every possible hope of ever being able to do that.
I still have hope that you can. In spite of everything, Carol, I think there's something left between you and Peter. A need for each other.
No. Not after that last crazy act. He won't even be able to respect me anymore.
I want you to sup.
Why? What for?
Please, Carol. I want you to try. Come on. Come on, I'll help you.
All right. I'm not gonna slump back into that again. I'm not gonna wonder why I'm alive.
Good. Come on. Now, you may feel a little bit dizzy at first. There we are. All right.
Good. What do you want me to do, Meg?
I want you to put this on. Please. Please, Carol, for me. Good. Now, you just swing your legs out this way. There we are. Okay. There we go. Now, Carol, you've got to remember that you're lucky to be alive. And you're going to make the most of it. The only way we can make up for our mistakes is to remember them and try to do better. And Carol, it's kind of exciting finding out that you can do better. You know what I think would be good now? A little lipstick. Yeah. Go on. Oh, yes, that's much better. Now let's do something with the hair. Here, just turn your head over this way.
Meg, I'd like to ask you something. You don't have to answer it if it isn't a fair question.
What is it, Carol?
Have you talked to Peter since this happened?
Yes.
What does he say about me? I mean, about what I did.
Well, he was very concerned.
He'll never be able to forgive me.
We don't know enough about anything to ever say never.
Does he have any kind of feeling for me?
I think he's very glad that you're alive.
I see.
Excuse me, Mrs. Bentley. It's time for Mrs. Lindsay's medicine.
Oh, thank you. I'll give it to you, Sam.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, drink all of that. Good girl. Now, Carol, we're going for a walk.
Walk?
Mm-hmm. I think a change of scene will be good for you, and I think you ought to start getting your strength back. Okay? Carol?
All right.
Good girl. Come on. Now, you can just lean on me. All right? Okay, here we go.
They all know.
No, they don't.
He has all the doctors and the nurses do.
What difference does it make? You can't hide for the rest of your life. Come on. Come on.
Right.
Hello, Mrs. Lindsay. How nice to see you up.
Thank you.
I think she'll be able to go home tomorrow.
Oh,
Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Hardy thinks so.
oh, I think that's wonderful. Well, I'll see you later.
Come on, Carol. Let's walk in more.
Well, Mrs. Lindsay, you're up and around and looking very well, I must say.
Thank you, Dr. Hardy.
It's the beginning of a fine comeback.
I'm going to do my best.
Good.
Come on. Oh, Carol, do you want to sit down and rest for a moment?
I think I'd rather go back to my room. There's too many people walking around.
All right, all right. We don't have to take on the whole world. First day, do we? Carol, you're doing just wonderfully.
Excuse me.
Oh, Meg, he despises me. And I can't even blame him.
Carol, maybe he does. But remember, you're going to make something out of your life no matter what he thinks. That's the plan, isn't it? Carol, isn't it? May I see you for a minute?
You don't have to ask that.
Dr. Hardy thinks Carol can be released tomorrow.
I'm not surprised.
Peter, you haven't talked to her at all since she's been here.
There's no point in talking to her.
Peter, she knows what she did was unforgivable.
And I'm glad she knows. It's too bad she didn't know sooner.
But she changed her mind almost immediately and called for help. And she's been miserable, terribly miserable, ever since.
Why are you telling me this?
I just thought that if you knew how sorry and ashamed she was, that you could give her some
Somewhat.
assurance that you could forget it. Maybe even forgive her.
I'm certainly trying to forget. And everything else that happened this year. I don't want to spend the rest of my life thinking about it.
Peter, haven't you ever done anything that you regret?
Are you suggesting that I'm responsible for what she did, tried to do?
No.
Then why are you asking me if I regret anything I've done?
I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't.
Meg, you know I've told you there are a great many things I regret. I regret somehow missing out on living as a human being. I regret trying to make a life of the practice of medicine.
Peter, all your problems and Carol's came from a marriage that really wasn't a marriage. It was just a convenient arrangement while you practiced medicine. Peter, that's true, isn't it?
Yes. And I admit it was my fault. But whatever it was, it doesn't justify what she did, Meg.
No, it doesn't justify it, but it does explain it. I think it was harder on Carol. At least you had your medicine. All she had was her marriage to you.
Meg, there's no point in going back over all of this.
Maybe not. I just thought that, well, maybe you could try to understand. Anyway, it's none of my business.
Meg?
Yes.
Meg, I want you to know that I don't resent your coming here, even though it was in Carol's behalf.
And yours.
Mine.
Yes. I knew that you and Carol must have cared a great deal for each other once. Even recently, you told me how intelligent she is and how decent. Peter, you don't hate Carol, do you? I don't think you do.
Well, it's unimportant how I feel.
But if she could just know that you don't hate her, she thinks that you do.
Well, I can't help what she thinks any more than I can help what she did.
But you could tell her that you don't hate her.
All right, I'll try to tell her. There's something else I have to tell her, too.
Oh?
I'm stopping the divorce action.
Peter.
She can get the divorce at her convenience. There's no longer any rush for me. Meg. Meg, I realize now that I had no chance with you. You certainly told me that.
I am sorry, Peter.
And I'm very indebted to you for for giving me a glimpse of what life could be. Maybe someday I'll do something about it. I'm very grateful.
I didn't do that. You did it yourself. Actually, what happened between you and Carol made you realize what you were missing. It wasn't me.
Are you asking me to believe that?
Yes, I am. Peter, what you felt you were lacking, Carol was lacking too.
You mean you're saying I'm responsible for all the things she did?
Aren't you? You said that yourself. Peter, remember you said yourself that you never gave your marriage a chance? Or Carol? I think you owe Carol a great deal. Just the knowledge that you don't hate her. Peter, love does strange things to women. It makes them kind and understanding and with a great desire for living. But if they lose that love, it can do just the opposite to them.
Okay. I'll tell her.
And Peter, when you do, will you remember that behind all the things that she did that were bad and unforgivable was a love for you? A love that she was so afraid of losing?